Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We're giving live English reports on the game being played and hope that in turn, English-speaking audiences and fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, from the Belluna Dome in Saitama, it is going to be the Saitama Seibu Lions hosting the Orix Buffaloes. We'll be back in a moment with the starting lineups, but before we do that, we're just going to go around the horn of the NPB last night and catch you up on the scores from around the NPB. And we're going to first off begin in the Central League. Last night, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows got into a slugfest with the Hanshin Tigers. The Swallows won the game 10-8. Each team pounded out 15 hits. Mano got the win for the Swallows. Keller in relief took the loss for the Tigers. Scott McGuff picked up the save. There were home runs by the Swallows. They hit 4. Yamada hit 1. Santana hit 2. And Hamada hit 1. Itoi hit 1 for Hanshin. The Chinichi Dragons opened up their season in Tokyo against the Yomiuri Giants. The Yomiuri Giants dropped them 4-2. Sagano got the win for the Giants last night. Ono took the loss for the Dragons. Oda picked up the save for the Yomiuri Giants. Dan Visaedo homered for Chinichi, and Maru homered for Yomiuri. The Hiroshima Toyo Carp got off to a winning start last night as they knocked off Yokohama 11-3. Daichi Osera picked up the win. It was Azuma taking the loss for the Bay Stars. Over in the Pacific League, the season got going as the Chiba Marines shut out the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4-0. Ishikawa went 7 strong innings. He was followed by Tan Guerrero and then Masuda. He got the win. Norimoto took the loss for the Golden Eagles. The Orix Buffaloes behind Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the ace of the staff. They won 6-0 over the Saitama Seibu Lions, who we will see tonight. Final score there was 6-0. And lastly, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks knocked off the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters 4-1. Samori picked up the win. Segura takes the loss, and Mori picked up the save. Home runs for the Fighters. Ishii hit his first, and Freddie Galvis hit his first home run for Fukuoka. And so now we're going to be back in just a moment here, but we will be back with the starting lineups. We'll give you all that information after this brief tune. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the starting lineups, and we'll begin with the visitors from Osaka. That's the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 1, is Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second and playing third base, wearing number 6, is Yuma Mune. Batting third and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 7, is Masataka Yoshida. And the cleanup spot and playing right field, wearing number 99, is Yutaro Sugimoto. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, wearing number 24, is Kitaro Kobayashi. Batting sixth and playing first base, wearing number 42, is Rangel Rivero. Batting seventh and doing the catching, wearing number 23, is Tori Fushimi. Batting eighth and playing second base, wearing number 31, is Ryo Oda. And batting ninth in center field, wearing number 0, is Hirado Watanabe. And on the mound for the Saitama Seibu Lions, making his NPB debut, is lefty Chihiro Samida. He is going to be making his debut tonight for the Saitama Seibu Lions. And now the lineup for the home team for the Lions, and that is going to be leading off and playing center field, wearing number 46, is Shohei Suzuki. Batting second and playing in left field, wearing number 30, is Brian O'Grady. Hitting third and playing third base, wearing number 60, is Takiya Nakamura. And the cleanup spot and playing first base, wearing number 3, is Hotaka Yamakawa. Batting fifth and doing the catching, wearing number 10, is Tomoya Mori. Batting sixth and playing second base wearing number 5 is Shuta Tonosaki. Batting seventh and doing the designated hitting wearing number 1 is Takumi Kuriyama. Batting eighth and in right field wearing number 53 is Ito. And batting ninth and playing shortstop wearing number 6 is Suzuki Genda. And they are going to be facing the left-hander Hiroya Miyagi. Last year, Miyagi pitched to a 13-4 record and a 2.51 ERA. It was his first full season in the NPB, his second year of NPB experience. And so he is going to get the nod tonight for the Orix Buffaloes on the mound against his counterparts from the Alliance. There are no changes to the lineup as far as the Saitama Seibu Lions go. Everyone who is in the starting lineup played last night. The Orix Buffaloes, the top 6 hitters in tonight's order, have all saw action in last night's game. We have only the one positional player, the center fielder Hirado Watanabe, is making his NPB debut. And that is where we stand. So the crowd is on their feet. The Saitama fans are cheering their club as they're now about to take the field. And this game is going to get going in just a couple moments. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back after this brief tune. Welcome back, everybody. The Saitama Seibu Lions have been introduced and they are taking the field, and we're ready to get this one going underway in just a couple moments. The starting pitcher tonight for the Lions is, as we mentioned before, is Chihiro Samita. He is making his NPB debut as he is getting the nod as the starter tonight. And so he is going to be entrusted to go head-to-head. It'll be interesting to see how he does in front of the home crowd. Samita was originally the number 1 pick in the 2021 draft. He went to West Japan Institute of Technology. He was drafted from the university there. He is going to be 23 in August. And so he is a lefty. We've got a matchup of 2 left-handed pitchers tonight as they're going head-to-head. And so he is about ready to get onto the mound and do his warm-up tosses. But before that, we have a ceremonial first pitch. And we got a couple little extra action. This is going to be the delay. If you're watching a game, this is a young fella on the mound, and he's going to see what he's made of. And here comes the pitch, and he's able to get it across the plate. I always find it fascinating, the first pitch in the Japanese. They also have the hitter stand in, and the mascot is playing the role of the umpire. So if you ever get a chance to see the first pitches, it's always kind of funny, just the way that they do it. The Lions, of course, mascot, or one of their mascots, is in behind the plate. And so now we're ready to get this one underway as Samita is now getting to his warm-up tosses. As we mentioned last night, we are going to be on again tomorrow. We're all 3 games of the opening series, but we are going to be calling the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks tomorrow. And we'll get a chance to look at the Hokkaido Nippon-ham Fighters. The same time, it'll be 10 p.m. Pacific time on the west coast of Canada and the United States, or if you are in Japan time, it'll be 2 p.m. or 1400 hours. So hopefully you can make it in and join us for that one as well. So Samita is just completing his warm-up tosses, and the ball has been thrown down by his veteran catcher Tomoya Mori, and we're ready to get this one underway. So leading off for the Buffaloes, it's going to be Shuhei Fukuda. He's followed by Yuma Mune and Masataka Yoshida. The 1, 2, 3 hitters in the Orix batting order. Fukuda last night got the start. He was 1 for 4 to start the campaign. And Samita is ready to go. Left-hander against the left-hander. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike at the belt, and the count is 0-1. So we are underway in Saitama. Sumida ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. Squaring to bunt is Fukuda. He takes the pitch. It's down and away. And the count runs even to 1-1. The Orix Buffaloes are looking to repeat as Pacific League champions. Of course, last year they made it all the way to the finals. And there's a fastball swung on. It's lined back to the pitcher. A nice play by Sumida as he makes the catch to his glove side. And that is going to retire Fukuda for the first out of the inning. So a line drive back to the pitcher is out number 1, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Yuma Mune last night was 1 for 4, and he knocked in a run. Mune, another player who had an opportunity to play regularly last year and had a breakout season for the Lions, or check that for the Buffaloes. Sumida ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mune bats from the left side against the left-hander Sumida. Youngster gets his sign from the veteran Mori. He's ready to go to work. He rocks into the windup. And there is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now is quickly 0-2 to Mune. For a first-year player, you would think there's going to be some nerves pitching in the second game of the NPB season. Sumida looks pretty relaxed. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mune. Sumida goes into the motion. He delivers. There is a breaking ball waved out and missed. And Mune goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. And that's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida last night was 2 for 4, and he also drove in one of the Buffaloes' runs. So he strides to the plate. One thing that you notice about the Japanese leagues, they're not afraid to throw up left-handed hitters against lefties. The first 3 hitters to face Sumida have all been lefties. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Genda at short. He moves to his left. He fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Masataka Yoshida on a ground out. 6-3 for out number 3 here in the top of the first inning. So for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the first, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Through a half an inning, it is the Orix Buffaloes nothing. The Saitama Seibu Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this message from our friend Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check out his channel, as he's got all kinds of crazy things that go on in his space.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Thanks again, Steve. We're moving to the bottom half of the first inning, and the Orix Buffaloes went quietly in their half of the first, 1-2-3. Leading it off for the Lions is going to be Shohei Suzuki. He'll be followed by Brian O'Grady and Takiya Nakamura. They are facing the left-hander Hiroya Miyagi. We're ready to get the bottom of the first inning underway, and the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It's fouled away over on the third base side, and the count is 0-1. Suzuki last night began the campaign 0 for 4. He's looking to open his account for the 2022 season. And here's a pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Suzuki. So far between the two teams, we've only seen left-handed hitters coming to the plate. As we mentioned, the Japanese do not shy away from lefties versus lefties. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is now 2-1 to Suzuki. The lefty Miyagi won 13 games last season for the Buffaloes, and there's a fastball swung on, and this ball is hit down the left field line. It's into the corner. This is going to be extra bases. Digging for 2 is Suzuki. Up with the ball is the left fielder Fukuda, and he fires it in. And Suzuki is going to cruise into second base with a leadoff double here to start the bottom of the first inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder Brian O'Grady. So Suzuki slapped the ball. It got past the third baseman right down the line. As the third baseman Yumamune was playing off of the line, and he was digging for 2 right out of the box all the way. The ball was fielded cleanly by the left fielder Fukuda, who got it back into the infield. So now Brian O'Grady steps to the plate. O'Grady didn't skip a beat. He had half of the Lions' hits last night. He was 2 for 4 against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Another lefty-lefty matchup, and here's the pitch. And the first pitch to O'Grady is a fastball down and away, and the count is 1-0. This is O'Grady's first season in the NPB. Of course, last year, Corey Spangenberg was with the Lions. And I think Spangenberg, at least the last 2 seasons, kind of frustrated the brass with the Lions the way that he played. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and count now is 1-1 to O'Grady. So 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Grady has had opportunities with a few different major league organizations, including the Padres, the Royals. And here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field, coming in hard as the center fielder, but he's not going to have a play. Does a very good job of holding up the runner because he weren't sure if they were going to catch it or not. But O'Grady is aboard with a base hit single, and the Lions have something going here in their bottom half of the first inning with no runners on the corners. So O'Grady is the runner at first. Suzuki advances over to third, but a really good job by the center fielder, the rookie Haruto Watanabe, for showing his glove as if he was going to make the catch, but that ball wasn't even close. And O'Grady is rolling as he's already his 3rd hit of the season. So O'Grady is aboard at first. The runner at third is Suzuki. That's going to bring Takeya Nakamura to the plate. Nakamura was 1 for 3 last night. The big fella steps in. He is a double play candidate. He doesn't run particularly well. He bats from the right side. This is the first right-handed hitter that we're witnessing in the ball game. So Nakamura gets himself dug in. He's got a chance for an RBI, and there's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Our St. Louis Cardinals fan, 1990, and Blue Jays fan is in the house. Welcome tonight. That's Ryan. Thanks for stopping by. 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. And here comes the pitch from Miyagi. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up to the right side of the infield. It's going to be the second baseman, Oda, who cruises back behind the bag at first base to make the catch. And Nakamura is retired, and that is going to be out number 1. So it's going to bring up the first baseman, Hotaka Yamakawa. Yamakawa last night was 0 for 3. As we mentioned, only 4 hits last night for the Lions. O'Grady, as we said, had 2. Nakamura had 1, and the other one was cashed in by Ito, who's also in the lineup tonight. So the runner at third is Suzuki. The runner at first is O'Grady. There's 1 away. Yamakawa stands in on the right side. Miyagi gets the sign from his catcher. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is no balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. That last pitch by Miyagi, he really dropped down to almost low 3/4. And it was a breaking ball, so it had almost a horizontal type spin to the ball. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This was up at the eyeballs. This ball is driven back, and this ball is gone. It's into the stands. It's a 3-run homer by Hotaka Yamakawa. And just like that, the Saitama Seibu Lions are on the board 3-0 here in the first inning. That is going to clear the bases. A 3-run shot by Yamakawa. And the fans in Saitama have something to cheer about tonight after being shut out last evening. Their first 3 runs of the season are now in the books. That was a high fastball. They did want it up high, but he didn't get it up high enough, and he absolutely tomahawked it into the left center field seats. And it's now a 3-0 ball game for the Lions. Can't really say that he missed his spot. They were wanting the pitch up high. The catcher, Fushimi, was basically almost standing up where he wanted the pitch. I guess he didn't get it up high enough. So the score now 3-0. That's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. And the first pitch to Mori is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So lots of smiles in the Lions dugout as they cash in on their first runs of the season. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Mori last night was 0 for 4 at the plate. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1. There was a lot of offensive fireworks in the Central League last night. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now runs even to 2-2. But not so much 2 shutouts in the Pacific League. Of course, the game we watched last night between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chibalote Marines. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. This ball is going to get down in front of the left fielder, Fukuda. And Mori is going to get on with a bleeder to left field. And he's going to start the hit parade again. That is the 4th hit of the inning for the Lions. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. Tonosaki last night went 0 for 3. So he's looking for his first hit of the campaign. And before we get to that, we're going to have a conference on the mound as the pitching coach for the Buffaloes has made his way out to talk to his left-hander. So after his words of wisdom, now we're ready to go back to the action. It was a pretty interesting job by the batter Yamakawa to really keep his hands inside the ball and absolutely turned on that. And of course, celebrating on his side was the pitcher Samita. He was jumping up and down. He's got himself a 3-run lead to pitch with in his NPB debut. So here we are back to the live action, and there's the pitch to Tonosaki. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-0. Tonosaki will be followed by the DH, Takumi Kuriyama. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Even though they're in the domed stadium at the Baluna Dome, it is a little bit cool on the field. A lot of the players are wearing sleeves. It is an open air concept. As you can see that there is some crosswind, and it's almost as if they're in a bowl. And so one would think that the air is going to settle low. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count now runs to 2-1 to Tonosaki. Curious to see how Miyagi settles down here. It's the 19th pitch of the first inning. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 to Tonosaki. He absolutely blew that pitch right by him. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's one away here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball. This is swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. The count is going to remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Miyagi holds at the belt. He gets the assign from his catcher Fushimi. He goes back to work. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded slowly to third. Mooney over to second for 1, back to first, and it's not in time. That's going to go down as a 5-4 fielder's choice to erase Mori for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to Takumi Kuriyama. Kuriyama, who's the designated hitter tonight, was 0 for 3 last night. We do welcome everybody who's listening live or on delay. We thank you for stopping in tonight. For those of you who are looking for a live feed of the game, depending upon where you're at in the world, Yahoo Japan carried the games yesterday live, although it wasn't available to the North American audience. The first pitch to Kuriyama is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Kuriyama bats from the left side. We have another lefty-lefty matchup. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and it's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The young left-hander, Samita, is up and throwing in front of his dugout as he's trying to stay loose. He's been there for quite a bit. Of course, after he had a fairly efficient top of the first inning. So here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kuriyama. Again, Miyagi looks at his catcher Fushimi, gets the sign, ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and you can see that the reaction by Miyagi, he didn't like the call. And you can see by the catcher, Fushimi, who received it, he didn't like the call because he held the pitch there. And I can tell you, based on what we saw on the replay, we didn't like the call because it should be 2-2. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Troy's Cards and Cars is in the house. Welcome. We're in the bottom of the first inning. It's a 3-0 lead now for the Saitama Seibu Lions. We thank you for popping in. The runner at first is Tonosaki. The batter is Kuriyama. It's a full count. There's currently 2 away here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Miyagi. And there is the fastball swung on, and it is grounded foul just past the bag at third base. Goes into the corner, but the umpire had to do a little hopscotch to get himself out of the way. And the count is going to remain at 3-2. Curious to see how long Miyagi's going to be able to stay in here. If he can settle down and get them to the 4th or 5th inning, then they can get into their bullpen. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Miyagi kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is driven into right center field. Moving over is the center fielder, Watanabe. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the first inning, as that is out number 3. So for the Lions in their half of the first, they got 3 runs on the home run by Yamakawa. They had 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 1 complete inning. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the second inning. We appreciate you being here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Thanks again to our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure after the game to check out Another Hollis Build. He supports our channel, and in turn, we like to support him. We're back now for the top of the second inning. It is going to be the heart of the Orix batting order coming up to face the young left-hander Samita. It is going to be Yutaro Sugimoto, Kitaro Kobayashi, and Rangel Rivero. And they'll get things going here against the young left-hander, who's now pitching with a 3-0 lead. Our friend Keep It checked in and to let us know it's 3-0. We appreciate you doing that. Of course, we only update the ticker after the half innings. So if you were listening in, you would know that that would be the score. So here comes the first pitch to Sugimoto. It's a fastball swung on. It's popped up behind second base. Moving back underneath it is the second baseman, Tanasaki. He's got a lot of space to make the grab. And out number one is Sugimoto here in the first inning. So one pitch, or in the second inning, one pitch and one away. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Kitaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi last night went 0 for 4. The 20-year-old is getting his second full season in the NPB, and he takes a fastball off the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. He is hitting in the 5 spot. It looks like he's going to be a keeper and around for a long time. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Samita back to work. He delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed by Kobayashi. And the count is now 1-2. I think if I was wanting to set up the young batter here, I might want to come with a high fastball to change the eye level and then bring it back down to a breaking ball. So let's see what Samita has in mind. And instead, he throws a fastball on the inside corner of the plate that's taken for a called third strike. And Kobayashi goes down looking for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and Samita is absolutely carving the pitchers. That actually looked almost like a cutter, the way it came out of his hand and the way that he was gripping the ball. It wasn't your typical two-seam grip. Ball had a lot of left to right movement. So that's 2 away. That's going to bring up Rangel Rivero. Rivero last night was 0 for 2. He takes the first pitch breaking ball down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Rivero, of course, got a release last year from the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. He came over to the Orix Buffaloes after having a very strong campaign in AAA. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. And really, he only had a couple at bats until they'd got into the playoffs. So last year for the Buffaloes. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. And there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 3-0. My thoughts last year on Rivero, he was playing left field. He was a bit of an adventure in left field. He gets the start tonight at first base. But I really liked his approach at the plate. I liked the way that he swung the bat. He should be able to survive in this league and play for a while. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. He's a stocky fella. He's got a compact swing. He swings from the right side. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Samita, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So Rivero's got himself a 2-out single to get things going for the Buffaloes. And now it's going to bring up the catcher, Tori Fushimi. Fushimi's getting his first action of the season. He didn't play in last night's ball game. And Rivero just keeps the band rolling as he gets himself that hit. As I mentioned last year, he was absolutely scorching in AAA. The AAA franchise for the Dodgers, and he ended up getting his release so he could go overseas and play. So Fushimi steps in on the right side. He's got a fairly upright stance, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Rivero, the runner at first. There's 2 away. Fushimi stands in, waiting on the delivery from the left-hander, Samita. Samita working from the stretch. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted down the first base line. Moving over to the foul line is the second baseman, Tanasaki. He's going to make the grab. And that is going to do it for the Buffaloes in their half of the second inning. So for Orix, they had no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1.5. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom second inning. We're glad you guys could pop in with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Saitama Seibu Lions. That's going to mean it's going to be Ito, Suzuki Genda, and Shohei Suzuki. The first 2 innings for the young left-hander Chihiro Samita in his NPB debut have gone better than anticipated. He's faced 7 batters, only allowing 1 base runner, and that was Rangel Rivero in that last half inning. We will keep you up to date on the out-of-town scoreboard as well as the evening progresses. All of the games are in action and everybody is underway. Right now, there are scores from around the NPB. Just really quickly, in the Tokyo Dome, in the bottom of the second, the Chinichi Dragons have a 1-0 lead over the Yomiuri Giants. The bottom of the second inning in Yokohama, it is the Hiroshima Carp 1-0 over the Bay Stars. There's no score in Osaka between the Swallows and the Tigers. Right now, the game in Tohoku has been canceled due to rain. I'm not sure on a makeup date for that yet. And in the bottom of the second inning, the PayPay Dome, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are leading the nippon-ham Fighters 1-0. And here's the first pitch delivered to Ito. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Miyagi had a very rough first inning. There's another breaking ball. It's down in the dirt. They appeal down to first base, and the first base umpire said Ito went. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ito. So here comes the 0-2 pitch from Miyagi. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Ito goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Suzuki Genda. Genda batting in the 9-hole tonight, gets the start at shortstop. Last night he was 0 for 2. Genda plays a pretty smooth shortstop position. Last year he hit quite a bit early on in the season at the top of the batting order. He's able to control the bat, and there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Genda. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul over on the third base side. And the count now goes to 0-2. Miyagi threw 29 pitches in the first inning. As we mentioned, if he can settle down, it would be good for him to be able to eat up some innings for the Buffaloes. There's a breaking ball that misses down the way, and the count is 1-2. There's nothing worse than getting your bullpen taxed early in the season. And there's a breaking ball up at the eyeballs that's smacked into center field and moving over to his left and making the grab is the center fielder Watanabe. And that is going to retire Genda on a fly ball to center for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that brings the top of the order, Shohei Suzuki, to the plate. Suzuki, his first time up, he slapped a double down the left field line. He's 1 for 1 this evening. His average is now 200 as he was 1 for 5 on the season. Miyagi goes back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Comes the 0-1 pitch, and there's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now is 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped foul just behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Suzuki. There's 2 away here in the bottom half of the second inning. Miyagi ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count now goes to 2-2. I can say the home plate umpire is not giving a whole lot of love to Miyagi tonight. Some of those pitches are pretty close. And I'll say it's not like Miyagi has missed by a lot. So here comes the 2-2. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it is lifted foul over on the third base side. It keeps the count at 2-2. Standing on deck, waiting for his opportunity, is Brian O'Grady. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Miyagi delivers a fastball. It's swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. And again, the count remains at 2-2. Suzuki's choking up slightly at the end of the bat. He's got an open stance. Here's the 2-2. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to second. It's fielded by the second baseman as he moves into the shallow outfield grass. That's Oda. And he throws it over to first, and that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out, 4-3 for the third out of the innings. So for the Lions in their half of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Orix Buffaloes trailing the Saitama Seibu Lions 3-0. We'll be back with the top of the third inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Here's another one of our Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the third inning. It's 3-0 for the Lions over the Buffaloes. Hold tight. We'll be right back after this. Would you like to support Last Raps Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Raps Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the top of the third inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Orix Buffaloes. It's going to be Ryo Oda, Haruto Watanabe, and Shuhei Fukuda to face the left-hander Chihiro Samita. And here's the first pitch from Samita. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Oda is getting the start at second base tonight. He did not play in last night's ball game. Here comes the pitch. It is a changeup, swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Oda. Oda's got the slightly open stance here at the plate, and he dives into the pitch. It's a breaking ball that he waves out and misses, and Oda is gone on strikes for out number 1. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. For Watanabe, he is making his NPB debut tonight. This is game number 1 for him. Watanabe is a left-handed stick. He's had action already in the ballgame as he's made a couple of nice plays in center field. He also did a pretty good job of preventing the runner Suzuki in the first inning of taking an extra base. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Basically, what he did is on a fly ball, he decoyed the runner to hold him at second base. And though the ball dropped in and the runner was able to get to third, but he wasn't able to score. So breaking ball to Watanabe drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Samita ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's another breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count is 1-2. Samita's breaking ball has a lot of 12-6 break to it. It almost kind of reminds me of the former Milwaukee Brewer Dan Plesac, the way his breaking ball was. There's a breaking ball. Samita loses his hat, and the umpire, as Mori looks like he's ready to race toward the dugout, does not call third strike. And it is now 2-2 to Watanabe. Looked like Mori was racing to the dugout, but there's only 1 out right now. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into shallow left field. Moving over underneath it is O'Grady. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Watanabe for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. Fukuda began the ballgame tonight by hitting a line drive back to the pitcher. It was to the glove side, about waist high. Samita stuck his glove out and he made the grab. So here comes the pitch to Fukuda. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Troy's Cards and Cars asks, how do you pick what game you're going to call? And there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. And do I have an affiliation with the NPB or anything? No, we have no affiliation with the NPB. As we say at the outset, we don't do any of that stuff. So the thoughts and views are our opinions. And there's a breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 1-2. So sometimes if we're going to let you know if it's a really good play, we'll let you know. If it's hot garbage, we'll also let you know there as well, too. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fukuda. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So back to Troy again. The original question is, how do you pick the game to call? So typically speaking, what I look for is we look for good weather. If it's not at a dome stadium, I look for good pitching matchup. So in other words, earlier today, I knew that there was weather issues in Tohoku. So the game last night between those 2 teams, there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Fukuda. The count is now 3-2. So I knew last night we weren't going to call the game today because there was poor weather in the area. Now, there are a couple of dome stadiums that are in the league, or a few dome stadiums, so we just easily chose one of those. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The catcher, Mori, the pitcher, were sprinting off the mound and out of the catcher's box toward the dugout because they thought it was strike 3. They did not get the call from the umpire. We're going to go back and look at the replay. It was a pretty close pitch, but the plate umpire didn't buy the sell job of the pitcher and the catcher. And Fukuda is aboard with a 2-out walk. So as I mentioned, I look for the pitching matchups and look for the weather, especially at this time of the year. The weather can always be a bit dicey. You never know when there's going to be a lot of rain. So those are usually the two rule of thumbs that I look for. So this brings up Yuma Mune to the plate. Mune struck out his first time up. He's 1 for 5 on the early season. And he doesn't see a first pitch here, as flipping over to first base is the lefty Samita. Diving back in time is Fukuda. So hopefully that answers your questions, Troy. So 2 away here in the first. The runner establishes his lead. Fukuda is off of the base, and here's the pitch from Samita. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So Samita is getting some of the treatment that the other lefty, Miyagi's been getting. Miyagi is not getting much of the corners. The plate is very round for Miyagi tonight. That last pitch to Mune was a pitch that arguably could have been called a strike based on some of the pitches we've seen. So here we go. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. Yeah, Troy says that lends to complete games with good baseball. Yeah, if we can get decent pitching matchups. The one thing that's interesting about the NPB is that they use 6-man rotations. So the guy who's the Friday starter this week is going to be probably the Friday starter next week, and the Friday starter the week after that, and so on and so forth. Now, there are some teams like the Orix Buffaloes who do sometimes double up. There's a breaking ball that misses inside to Mune, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. So sometimes you get into those situations where you're seeing some pretty good matchups. So 3 balls and no strikes. I'll get back to those thoughts in just a moment here. Mune waiting on the 3-0, and there's a fastball that comes right down the middle, and the count now goes to 3-1. So yeah, as long as we can get some decent pitching matchups and obviously some of those type of things. As I said, the 6-man rotation, they don't play games on Mondays. So we won't be doing anything on Sunday night. There's no games on Mondays. They play Tuesday through Sunday. Typically, the series are 3 games each in length, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a series, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a series. They do play on Mondays when they have to make up rained-out games. So we will see something along those lines. Obviously, with the Marines and the Eagles rained out today, we may see a game added in at some point. That game has not been rescheduled to our knowledge yet. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming under it is the left fielder, O'Grady. He's going to make the catch. And Mune is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. So there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We're through 2.5. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Here's our friend Steve again. Check out his channel after the game. This is Steve Rademacher.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and we care about you for sure. This is going to be the bottom of the third inning. It is going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the batting order. That means Brian O'Grady, Takeya Nakamura, and Hotaka Yamakawa to face the left-hander Miyagi for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch to O'Grady is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. O'Grady tonight singled back in the first inning, and he came around and scored on the 3-run shot by Yamakawa. He is now 3 for 5 to start the young season, and there's a breaking ball delivered. It's swung on. It's popped up on the third base side of home plate. O'Grady takes off toward first base, but he's not going to be happy with that, as that's going to be a pop-out to the catcher. So he is retired. 1 up and 1 away. Steve Rademacher has put the link into the chat. I'm not looking at the live feed, so I hope that works for you, Steve. Looks like it is there, so make sure you visit Steve's channel. Give him the sub. Don't forget the thumbs up as well, whether you're listening live or on delay. So here comes the first pitch to Nakamura. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Miyagi ready to go back to work. He delivers a fastball that just misses under the hands, and it's inside to Nakamura, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nakamura hit the pop-up back in the first inning for the first out of the inning. He's now 1 for 4 on the season. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So here's the 1-2 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nakamura, the big fella, digs in, and here's the pitch from Miyagi. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Nakamura is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning. That pitch there, he absolutely blew it by him. Miyagi, that's probably arguably the fastest pitch we've seen him throw today. I didn't get the speed on the radar gun, but he had a little something extra in the tank on that one. You could see that as he blew it right by the hitter Nakamura. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Hotaka Yamakawa. Yamakawa homered in the first inning. It was a 3-run shot. And he takes a vicious hack at that pitch and looked like he wanted to go yard again. But he's fouled that one off behind home plate, and the count is 0-1. Yamakawa is 1 for 4 now on the season. Here's the pitch from Miyagi. It's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. That ball was a teardrop as it fell in there. The big hitter buckled his knees. In fact, and I get a further review at that, it was a nice job by the catcher receiving that pitch. Good job by Fushimi. There's the 0-2 pitch, and it's delivered. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-2 to Yamakawa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miyagi kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it is tapped foul, and it was really crazy play. The ball hit, it spun to the ground, it came around the hitter, and the catcher pounced on it, Fushimi did. And he tried to grab it in fair territory, but the ball was foul. And we're going to do the 1-2 pitch all over again, but that was one of the weirder plays. Lions fans are on their feet. They're chanting, looking for some action here. And so here comes the 1-2 pitch to Yamakawa. And Miyagi delivers a fastball. It is swung on and missed. And Yamakawa goes down on strikes for the final out of the inning. So for the Lions in their half of the third inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3 complete innings. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the 4th inning. We're glad you could check in with us tonight. Here's some more of our Japanese memories. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the fourth inning. 3-0. The Saitama Seibu Lions are ahead of the Orix Buffaloes. We'll be right back after these tunes. Back or move to the top of the fourth inning. It is going to be Masataka Yoshida, Yutaro Sugimoto, and Kotaro Kobayashi to face the left-hander Chihiro Samita. And so Yoshida steps in. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He's 3 for 5 on the season. He's got himself an RBI. And so here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Yoshida. Ready to go back to work. Samita kicks and delivers. There's another breaking ball, but this misses off the outside corner. The count is 1-1. I will say this. The young left-hander who is making his debut tonight, in my opinion, is throwing a lot of breaking balls. And there's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 3-1 to Yoshida. So lots of breaking balls. I would like to think that maybe he obviously is trying to fall in love with that pitch a little bit, but I would have thought maybe he would have kind of established his fastball a little bit better. Here comes the 3-1, and again, it's a breaking ball. And again, it drops in for a called strike, and the count is 3-2. We can't say that he doesn't throw strikes with it. That's for sure. He does able to get the ball across, and he's able to throw strikes. So here we go. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and that is going to be ball 4 to Yoshida. And Yoshida is aboard here with a leadoff walk in the top of the fourth inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Yutaro Sugimoto. Sugimoto steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to the second baseman his first time up. He is 0 for 4 on the young season. So he gets himself dug in. He's ready to face the left-hander Samita. Samita kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that is waved out and missed. Actually, that I'm going to say that was more of a changeup. I have to go back and look at the grip of the pitch, but that pitch moved down. It didn't quite have that break that we see. So a nice changeup there by the young left-hander. So 0-1 to Sugimoto. He was dialing up, looking to take it for a ride. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses just below the knees, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sugimoto hitting from the right side. After seeing 3 left-handed sticks, then they have 2 back-to-back. Actually, 3 back-to-back. If you include Ravello, and there's a breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher Mori to keep the ball in front. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Sugimoto digs himself back into the batter's box. Miyagi ready to go to work again. The left-hander Samita gets the sign from his catcher, Mori. He kicks and delivers. There is a changeup that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a pitchfork changeup that he throws. He's really able to turn the ball over pretty good. To the right-handed hitters, that ball comes in, it stays down as he's able to keep it down, and it sort of has a little bit of downward and away movement to the right-handed batter. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep right field. Moving back on the warning track is the right fielder, Ito. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Sugimoto. That was one of the better hit balls off of the young left-hander. That is going to retire Sugimoto for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi tonight is 0 for 1. He's 0 for 5 on the young campaign. He's looking for his first hit. This young shortstop, there's a lot to like about him. He's bats from the right side. And the first pitch is a breaking ball. This is lifted into deep left center field. Racing back is O'Grady. He's going to make the catch on the warning track. He turns and fires it back to the infield off of one leg. What a great catch by O'Grady. Sometimes players can come in and they can really endear themselves to the teams, and then there's times that players come in and everything they do just turns to sand. And O'Grady is swinging the bat and he's making plays in the outfield. That brings the Lions fans to their feet. So Kobayashi is retired for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Rangel Rivero. Rivero tonight is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. He's 1 for 3 on the season. And here comes the pitch, and it is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. As we mentioned earlier, we were barking about Ravello last year when we saw him for the first time. He, of course, was with the Dodgers organization, and he was absolutely crushing it in AAA. But the reality of it is there was no opportunity for him at the big league level. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. I think of the Dodgers this week, Matt Beattie was designated for assignment, and he was fairly productive for the Dodgers last year. And so he is, obviously, when you're DFA'd, they have to do a few things. They either got to put you on waivers, they've got to trade you, they've got a certain length of time to do something with you, give you your outright release. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1, or he could refuse the assignment and become a free agent. So I'll be curious to see what is going to happen to Matt Beattie here in the spring. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-1. But you have those type of players. They also had some other ones that were blocking the way. Troy said he hadn't heard that. I'm not sure what you were referring to because there was a little bit of the delay in the feed. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch to Rivero. And Samita delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into center field. Moving over to his left, and he's going to make the grab is Shohei Suzuki, and that is going to end it. And that is going to be the third out of the inning. So for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the third, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the 4th inning. Stick around, everybody. We're glad you could be here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And it's a bit of a sparse crowd in our chat tonight. We had a big group last night. We had as many as 10 people in at one time. But tonight it's a little bit on the slow stuff. Try to ask some questions here about the BDDFA. One thing that was interesting about that is the BDDFA is I didn't think he was out of options. Apparently, he still had one more option left. So I don't know what the Dodgers are doing there. Sometimes that happens where a player might have an opportunity to go overseas. I don't know if that's a situation to keep an eye on. So once he would be basically DFA'd, nobody else would claim him. And then he could possibly become a free agent, or they've either got to work out a trade or he's got to go down to the minors or whatever that might be. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Troy asked the question, do I follow a specific team or am I a fan of a team? Growing up near Detroit, Tigers were always my team. And so that's who I enjoy. Finally starting to look like they're going to have a team again here. And so we've got, in this inning, we've got the Tomoya Mori, Shuta Tonosaki, and Takumi Kuriyama coming up to face the left-hander Miyagi. The first pitch delivered to Mori is a breaking ball that was taken for a ball, and now a fastball delivered for a ball, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We do sometimes call major league games. We call some major league games during the daytime, and there is a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal down to the third base umpire who says Mori went. The count is now 2-1. So sometimes we do major league games as well on the channel. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball. It's swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. The count goes to 2-2. What we brought up the other night is where sometimes people ask, where can we watch this game live? Depending upon where you're at in the world, it varies. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside to Mori, and the count is now 3-2. But if you're in Asia and you're listening in or you pop in, Yahoo Japan was carrying the games live the other night or last night. There's a fastball that misses outside. That is going to be ball 4, and Mori's got himself a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. Miyagi sure didn't like the pitch. There were a couple pitches there. That pitch there was definitely off the plate. It was a good job by the catcher Fushimi to receive that. He really backhanded the ball well. But that was definitely not a strike. That is the first walk issued today by the lefty Miyagi. That to go with 3 strikeouts. He was at 56 pitches through his first 3 innings of work. After his first inning, we weren't sure that he was going to survive. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. The first pitch to Tonosaki is swung on. He fouls it into the ground and off his feet. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Miyagi ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher. He delivers a fastball. This is swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. So the count is now 0-2 to Tonosaki. Again, Tonosaki waiting on the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is drilled to deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track is the right fielder, Sugimoto, and he's going to have to play that one off the wall. Digging hard for 2 is the batter, Tonosaki, and sliding into third is going to be Mori. And it is going to be trouble now for Miyagi yet again, as there's now runners on second and third with nobody out. That ball was absolutely scorched. Tonosaki went the other way with it. 0-2 pitch, absolutely smashed. And they had to go a long way, right off the Mitsubishi sign in right field. And so Tonosaki is aboard with a double, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Takumi Kuriyama. It's also going to bring the Orix Buffaloes infielders in. Everybody is up on the proverbial grass. It is a turf field. The only area that is dirt is around the bases where the cutouts are. So Kuriyama is 0 for 1 tonight. He is 1 for 4 on the, checked out, 0 for 4 on the season. And the first pitch from Miyagi is a breaking ball that misses, and the count is 1-0. So this is where Miyagi's got to get himself out of a jam. Crowd is in a festive spirit, and why not? You're up 3-0, and there is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lashed down the line in right field, but it is foul by just a few inches. Kuriyama almost had himself at least a double, if not more. We'll get it again on the replay, and he was out in front of it. The umpire was right on the line. He held his ground, and that was a foul ball. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kuriyama. Miyagi gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He holds set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the third base side. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So left-hander against the left-hander. Miyagi ready to go back to work. He checks the runners at second and at third, and then he delivers a breaking ball. This ball is lashed this time down the third base side. It's going to hit the netting, and it's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kuriyama digs in. Miyagi gets the sign from his catcher. He delivers. It is a breaking ball down and away. They ask for some help from the third base umpire to see if Kuriyama went, but they said he didn't. We're going to get a chance to look at the replay, and boy, oh boy, that one, again, that's some home cooking. So that's going to make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miyagi's going to walk away from the game tonight and feel that it is unjust. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This is tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is going to remain at 2-2. So Troy said he just went to check out your eBay store and it ships out of Canada. Yep, we are north of the border. So you are in the States, and obviously we're up here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch from Miyagi. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And again, Fushimi holds the ball for an extended period of time. He did not like that pitch. I have to say that did look like it was off the outside corner. But because Miyagi's been around the plate, he has been pretty close. It's not like he's been missing wildly tonight. He's just not getting those close calls. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball. This ball is swung on. It is lifted into deep center field. Moving back on it is Watanabe. He's going to make the catch over the shoulder. Tagging at third is Mori. He's going to score. Tagging at second is Tonosaki. He's going to advance to third. And it's going to be a sacrifice fly with a RBI credited to Kuriyama. That is going to increase the lead to 4-0. And the Buffaloes are still not out of the woods yet, as there is a runner at third. Good piece of hitting by Kuriyama. I'm just waiting for that fella who jumped in earlier in the stream to let us know that the score was 3-0. That would be Keep It, to let us know that it's 4-0. If he's in here listening, he would know. But we'll update it after the half inning on the ticker. So again, Samita is up and throwing in front of the Lions bullpen, or Lions dugout. And so now stepping up to the plate is Ito. And the first pitch to Ito, he swings at it and he pops it up over on the first base side. And camping out underneath it is the first baseman, Ravello, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Ito for the second out. I was about to say the two worst things you could possibly do is a strikeout or a pop-out in that situation with the runner on third and only one out. And before I could get the words out of my mouth, he popped it up, and that's the second out. And now the Buffaloes can relax and move back into their normal depths on defense. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Suzuki Genda. Genda tonight is 0 for 1. He flew to center his first time up. He's 0 for 3 to start the campaign this year. And here's the pitch from Miyagi. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Genda wears the C on the left shoulder as he is the captain of the Lions. If I'm not mistaken, Genda married a couple of years ago, married a television personality in Japan, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, I don't know if I could put in the chat. There is an English box score that you can hunt down, Troy, that you can also follow along. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. I'll see if I can grab it and pop it into the chat. And then that way you can see what the box score looks like along the way. This was from, well, actually, this will be from today. I'll give you today's box scores for the league. And see if this is going to work. Here's a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Genda. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know if they're right up to date with us. Sometimes we're a little ahead. Sometimes they're a little behind. Sometimes we're a little behind or they're a little ahead. So try that one out. I've just popped it into the chat. And there is a fastball that just misses. And again, the catcher and the pitcher wanted that as a called third strike. It was just off the outside corner. Both of them started to make their way toward the dugout. And that's going to make the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be the 80th pitch of the ball game coming up for Miyagi, the lefty. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's fouled away over on the third base side. The count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Miyagi gets a new baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And there's a fastball, and that misses off the outside corner. And that is going to be ball 4, and that's going to put runners on the corners. And it'll bring up the top of the order, Shohei Suzuki. Curious to see how long a leash they're going to have for Miyagi tonight. They are coming out to the mound, and they're going to have a chat. I don't know if it's the pitching coach is back on his way out again. This is the second time tonight they've made a trip out to the mound. They'll leave the veteran, or the young pitcher who's now a veteran, 3rd year in the NPB. They'll leave him in there. So Shohei Suzuki strides to the plate. He is 1 for 2 this evening. He doubled his first time up. He grounded to second back in the second. He's 1 for 6 on the season now. He, of course, scored a run when came around on the home run by Yamakawa. Yeah, awesome. You can get the information there. And, of course, you've got all of the games there, Troy, in front of you, so you can see what's going on around the rest of the league. That's the best one, at least in English. I mean, you can go to the NPB website itself, and I do use a little bit of that, but it's a bit of a challenge over there. And there is a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Suzuki, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the NPB website is, you can get it converted over into English. It's always kind of humorous because some of the players' names, when they convert it from Japanese, it doesn't give you the saying it might give you something else. Like Oka last night is Hill, I believe. Gives you what the English name might be. Flipping it over to first base is the pitcher Miyagi, and getting back in time is Genda. Yeah, and that's true too. You get all kinds of little pop-ups and stuff, so that also creates a hassle. There's a breaking ball delivered to Suzuki, and that drops in for a strike, and the count is now 1-1. Curious to see if they're going to have some shenanigans here with runners on the corners. If they can punch a run across here to make it a 5-0 ball game, and then they'd have the top of the order coming up next inning. Let's see what they've got in mind here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Miyagi delivers. It's a fastball. There goes the runner. And they had something going on there. The catcher, Fushimi, pump faked it to second. It'll probably go down as a stolen base. I don't think it's going to be catcher's indifference. So Suzuki Genda is going to get himself a stolen base. The runner, Tonosaki, stays at third. And you could see that they were smelling something there. So now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Suzuki, as that last pitch was a strike. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and again, it's another one of those close pitches. The count goes to 2-2. The one thing that you see in the Japanese league, unlike in the major leagues, is just the body language of the players. To the credit of the Japanese players, they really don't say much to the umpires, but you don't have to say much when you can see the body language. Moonwalking out of the batter's box, dropping their heads, rolling their eyes. It's in some ways kind of comical to see the theatrics. And there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. And Suzuki stands there like the house by the side of the road and watches it go by for out number 3. But there was damage done here in the 4th inning. There was 1 run for the Lions, and they had 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 4 complete innings. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 4, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Matt again. Sure to check out his channel after the game.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 5th inning, and the Orix Buffaloes are going to be sending up the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order. It's going to be the catcher, Tori Fushimi, Ryo Oda, and Hirado Watanabe. So 7, 8, and 9 to face the young left-hander, Samita. Samita is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one back underway as the Lions are throwing the ball around the infield. It's a decent crowd tonight. Some of the better crowds, obviously, in the exhibition season, the crowds were rather sparse, 4,000 or 5,000 fans. I would hazard a guess it's probably upwards around 15,000 to 20,000 tonight. There's still quite a bit of empty seats around the park. So I'm just looking at what Troy has to say. He goes, "You've been doing a lot longer than I, but Genda's name is Suzuki, yeah, or Suzuki, yeah, possibly so. It's probably the accent, or my accent sometimes gets in the way." There's a first pitch breaking ball to Fushimi that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. And there is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. You said that's actually from the Miyazaki feature Ponyo, or I would say probably prefecture would probably be I think what you're referring to. So here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 2-1. One fellow who usually jumps into our streams, we haven't seen him yet this year, although he's been around in some of the exhibition games, is a fellow named Ben Roberts. If you ever see Ben in the chat, he's an expat who lives in Yokohama or near Yokohama. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up just in front of the plate. Mori gets out in front of the plate. He removes the mask and flips it out of the way. And now it is going to be the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. So Troy says, do you make any games during the season, MLB or a minor league? During the season, typically speaking, in a normal year, last couple of years, it's not been normal, as we all know. I usually try to get down to see the Mariners about 10 times a year. I don't know if I'll be able to do that many this year. There's a first pitch that is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-1 to Oda. Oda tonight struck out his first time up. He's officially 0 for 1. And there is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-1. My plan is I will be in the Metro Detroit area toward the end of August. And going at the end of August, I'm looking at the potential of seeing the Tigers and the Mariners and the Tigers and the Royals. So I should be able to catch probably in that homestand, probably half of those games, maybe 3 or 4. Probably get a bunch of the Mariner games. And in doing that, I may take a run over to Cleveland and go see the Indians. Or, sorry, the Guardians, I should say. And there's a fastball swung on. This is going to reach the seats. As I'm talking about Major League Baseball, the count is now 2-2 to Oda. So 1-2 to Oda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So to answer that question, yes. As far as minor league games are concerned, we're going to try to see the Vancouver Canadians once or twice this year. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's fielded by Genda. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Oda. That goes as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to Haruto Watanabe, who is batting in the 9 spot tonight. Watanabe is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. He's making his NPB debut today. The lefty for the Lions, Samita, is at 65 pitches so far. He's been very economical. And the first pitch delivered to Watanabe is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That is definitely a rookie call. That pitch there was not any different than some of the pitches Miyagi was throwing on the outside corner of the plate. But of course, welcome to the NPB, Rook. You just got rooked on that one. There is a fastball that comes under the hands, and the count is now 0-2. The strike zone for Watanabe has just gotten a lot larger. He's definitely not getting the veteran calls. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped foul over on the first base side. Keeps the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So minor league baseball, the Vancouver Canadians going to try to maybe see the Aqua Sox. I got down and saw a couple of West Coast collegiate games a couple of years ago. I wanted to see the Bellingham Bells, and there's a breaking ball that's in the dirt. Maury tries to get out and block it, but it goes all the way to the backstop. That is going to make the count at 1-2. But I really don't have a ton of time to get around to see as much as I'd like these days, or sometimes these days. There is a pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded slowly over to second. It's fielded neatly by the second baseman, Tanosaki. He throws it over to first, and that is going to retire Watanabe on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 3. So the Buffaloes are retired in their half of the 5th inning. They had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 4.5. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 4. The Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's more of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the fifth inning, and then it'll be halftime, or the Japanese version of halftime, to take an extended break to come out and work on the field and give the umpires a little break, and then we are going to be moving from there. So it'll be Brian O'Grady, Takeya Nakamura, and Hotaka Yamakawa to get things going here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. We will look at the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard and see what we have there. Troy says doing a lot better than he is. He's lucky to get one MLB game a season. Gets to the Mississippi Braves, which is Double-A for Atlanta. It's pretty good. So here comes the first pitch to O'Grady. Gets a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So yeah, some years a little bit more. I mean, living out on the West Coast, I've had a chance. I've been to Dodger Stadium. I've been down to Arizona. Got a chance to see some of the games at those locations. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is scorched into right field. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder Sugimoto. And O'Grady keeps the hot stick alive. He's got himself a base hit single. He's now 2 for 3 in today's ball game. So 2 hits last night, 2 hits again today. He is finding very, very little to adjust to in the NPB. He is very, very dangerous. So Grady is aboard with a leadoff single. That's going to bring up Takeya Nakamura. Nakamura tonight is 0 for 2. He's popped out to the second baseman, and he's struck out his last time up. And there is a first pitch breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Nakamura is in the hole 0-1. Nakamura, the big fella, getting the start tonight at third base. He's in the twilight of his NPB career. He's very heavy set fella. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. One would anticipate this could be the last inning of work for Miyagi. They're in the hole 4-0. He's already into the 90s in pitches. That was pitch number 90 right there. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is the second baseman, Oda. He's going to make the catch. That's the second time tonight that Nakamura has popped to the second baseman. So he has retired, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Hotaka Yamakawa. I know Troy's in the chat tonight, and I was going to ask you, Troy, if you have had any opportunity to spend time over in the land of the rising sun. So Yamakawa steps to the plate. He has done most of the damage tonight. He's 1 for 2. He homered with a 3-run variety in the first inning, and he takes a breaking ball that floats up to the plate at about 63 miles an hour. And that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. If it was any slower, you might have had to time that with a sundial. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there is a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Yamakawa didn't go, and the count is 1-1. So back to Troy, just wondering if he had spent any time in Japan. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamakawa hitting from the right side, and there is another breaking ball from Miyagi. That misses down, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Yamakawa is 1 for 5 on the season, but the big blow in the first inning tonight put the Lions out to a 3-0 lead. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. Troy says that his daughter was stationed there a few years ago at the court. She picked up some baseball memorabilia for you. Yeah, absolutely. Baseball is baseball. And there is a fastball that is swung on, and it is fouled away. It almost looked like it was self-defense by Yamakawa. The thing that's neat about the Japanese league, and again, this is my opinion, it's fun to watch because there are some very good players in the Japanese league. they cap the imports at 3 players on the field at one time. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third base. It's fielded by Mune. He throws off one leg over to first, and that is going to retire Yamakawa. That goes as a ground out. 5-3. I'd like to have that look again on the replay. That ball looked like it was in foul territory by the time that ball was fielded. But the third base umpire was right on top of the play, and he made the call. That's going to advance O'Grady over to second. So we'd have to get an angle that would be right down the line. It was definitely a very odd play that was made by Amune. But again, that umpire was right in position to make the call. So O'Grady is at second. There's 2 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. Mori tonight is officially 1 for 1, and he's also walked and scored a run. He takes the fastball low, and the count is 1-0. That was the 98th pitch delivered by Miyagi tonight. So with Troy in our chat, he said that his daughter was stationed there a few years ago. I take it she was probably in the islands there, and there's a breaking ball that is lifted into the stands on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mori digs in on the left side. The pitcher Miyagi ready to go back to work. Left-hander against the left-hander. He delivers a fastball that misses just in. And the count is 2-1. Gosh, he was on Nagasaki, says Troy. Yeah, it's an interesting place. If you get to Japan, it's very, very clean. It's very, very orderly. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and there is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving over to his right is Sugimoto. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire the Lions in their half of the 5th, and we're going to see if that is going to be it for Miyagi tonight. He really, really had to battle here tonight to get through 5 innings. So for the Lions in their half of the 5th inning, there were no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 5 complete. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're going to give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we'll be back with the Major League Out of Town scoreboard. Welcome back, everybody. The out-of-town scoreboard from Major League Baseball. The exhibition season is well underway. The Detroit Tigers knocked off the Toronto Blue Jays 8-4 today. Chase Anderson gets the win. Merriweather takes the loss, and Pinto gets the save for the Tigers. St. Louis Cardinals knocked off the Washington Nationals 5-4. Drew Verhagen, who pitched in the NPB for the last couple of years, got the win. It was Cade Cavalli taking the loss. Kovic got the save for the Cardinals today. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the Orioles 9-4. Thompson the win. Ellis the loss. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Twins 2-1. Sulcer got the win for the Pirates. Thorpe takes the loss for the Twins. Atlanta Braves knocked off the Red Sox 6-3. Ian Anderson gets the win. Tanner Houck gets the loss. And Kingham gets the save. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Yankees 6-5. Dominguez got the win. Weber the loss. Bellotti picked up the save for the Phillies. The Colorado Rockies pounded out 17 runs and 18 hits today to beat the Chicago Cubs 17-1. German Marquez got the win. That's his first of the spring. Mills takes the loss. The Guardians knocked off the Giants 10-2. Savali picks up the win. Garcia takes the loss for the Giants. The Texas Rangers beat the Kansas City Royals 8-4. Dane Dunning got the win. Hernandez takes the loss for the Royals. The Milwaukee Brewers lost to the Oakland A's today 6-5. It was Grimm getting the win for the A's. Hardy takes the loss for the Brew Crew. I wonder if that's Blaine Hardy. I'm going to have to go back and look that up. And then it was Tomioka getting the save for the A's. The Angels and the Diamondbacks played to a 5-5 tie. The Astros knocked off the Mets 2-1 today. Brown got the win. McGill takes the loss. Blanco gets the save. And then it was the Dodgers and the Padres playing to a 5-5 tie. And lastly, the Seattle Mariners beat the Chicago White Sox 3-0. Marco Gonzalez got the win. Dylan Cease takes the loss. And Sweet got the save for the Mariners. And there you have it. That is the out-of-town scoreboard from Major League Baseball. That is it for today. So back to Troy. He said that his daughter was stationed in Nagasaki, and she didn't actually catch a game because all that happens on the mainland. There is the exhibition season is done on the islands. They do have the exhibition, and some of the teams will train there. There was some talk, of course, prior to the pandemic, prior to what's going on in other parts of the world. They were actually going to station a team in one of the islands. They were going to call it the Blue Wave, I believe it was called. And that was the nickname of the team. I'm not sure exactly where they were going to play. But that was what they were planning originally. They were looking to expand the NPB to 14 teams. To be honest with you, I'm not sure they could really go to 14 teams. I don't know if there's enough pitching. If they did, they may want to consider adding another import player to the rosters, or at least pitchers that they can use. So here we go back to the live action. And the first pitch from Samita is delivered to the top of the order. It is Shuhei Fukuda. He takes a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So it'll be Fukuda, Mune, and Yoshida to get things going here in the top of the sixth inning. There's a fastball. This is swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming hard on it is O'Grady. He's going to make the catch as he approaches the foul line. O'Grady having himself a fine day today, and he is both defensively and offensively a standing out for the Lions in the right way, and that is out number 1 here in the sixth inning. So Samita ready to go back to work. He's going to face Yuma Mune. Mune today is 0 for 2. He's struck out and flown to left. He is now 1 for 6 and an RBI on the season. Samita rocks into the windup. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. Troy says he wonders if Samita gets pulled, will the bats show up? And that sometimes is the case. You really start to see when you get to the bullpen, that's where the game gets exciting. And there is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, one would think that the Buffalo bats are going to get going. I have to take a look back. The strength is definitely not the bullpen for the Lions last year. There's a fastball that is tomahawked into the netting over on the first base side. The count is now 1-2. So as long as the Buffaloes can hang around with a scoreline like this, but I would think that Samita probably has at least one more inning with them. So they want to try to shorten the game. That's something that you see here, is they will go into the seventh inning with the pitchers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field, and it is going to be right to the center fielder, Suzuki. He hardly had to move. And Mune is gone for the second out of the inning, so 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida is one of the most dangerous bats in the NPB. He is batting from the left side. Yoshida 2 years ago won the batting crown with a .350 batting average. Here comes the first pitch to Yoshida. It's a fastball that moves him off the plate inside. The count is 1-0. Last year, he only appeared in 110 games. He ended up getting hit with a pitch on the hand and missed some action. He did hit 339 last year. He did hit 21 homers and drive in 72 runs. There is a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. This is the 7th season that Yoshida has appeared in the NPB. But speaking of bullpens, there is action in the Orix bullpen. They have a right-hander up and throwing, and there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think if I'm the Lions, I want to roll my lefty out for at least 1 more inning and then take my chances with the pen. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2 to Yoshida. When I look at Yoshida, the way that he stands at the plate, he reminds me of a left-handed hitting Alec Bregman. Bregman, the way he stands, he's very, very rigid. He squeezes the bat. Yoshida's a little bit more relaxed, but just his uprightness and the way that he stands gives me a little bit of that, not to mention that he's a pretty good hitter, and there's a fastball fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. But when you think of Bregman, just how he squeezes the bat, he's really, really tense at the plate. He's not a big guy. That's how Yoshida looks to me when he stands in the box from the left side. As I said, he's a little more relaxed this year than he looked last year. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that is down in the dirt. It scoots by the catcher Mori, but the count is 3-2 still. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yoshida digs himself in, and Sumida ready to go back to work. Here comes the payoff pitch. Sumida rocks into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball, and that is taken for ball 4. Similar to the last at-bat Yoshida had, getting the veteran calls. Sumida sure didn't like the call, as he was hop-skipping off the mound. And I have to tell you, that pitch looked very, very good. But when you're a rookie when you're a rookie and you got a veteran standing in there, a 7-year vet, you're not probably going to get that close call, even though it is your NPB debut. So that is going to bring up the right fielder, Yutaro Sugimoto. Sugimoto today is 0 for 2. He's popped to second, and he's flown out to right. He is 0 for 5 to start the season. So Sumida lifts, and he flips it over to first base, and getting back in time is Yoshida. It was a bit of a token toss over to first base. Yoshida, at least when I think of Yoshida, I don't think of him as particularly as a base stealer. He had 5 a couple of years ago. He's got 10 in his career. Here comes the pitch to Sugimoto. It's in the dirt. It's blocked by the catcher Mori, and it's going to hold the runner at first base. Mori chases it up the third baseline. A good job in keeping it in front of him. Binder, we will be on the airwaves again tomorrow night. We'll be looking to do the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, so we can get through everybody in the Pacific League at least once this weekend. So if you're around and want to show up, stop in. And here's the pitch to Sugimoto. It's a fastball that is under the hands that misses inside. The count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Sugimoto digs in. He's ready on the offering from Sumida. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. Well, if he would have been able to finish Yoshida off, I would have thought that there was a good possibility he might have rolled back out for the 7th. Now that he's had to ratchet his pitches up a bit here in this inning, after it started fairly quickly with the retirement of Fukuda and then Mune, I am not so sure that we're going to see Sumida back out for another inning. This is going to be the 87th pitch. But it is Japanese baseball. They're usually good to get up to about 110, 120. And there's the fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. That's the one thing I do like about the Japanese league is the pitchers sometimes can get up to 120 plus pitches or even more. They don't even blink an eyelid. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sumida holds at the belt. He checks the runner at first. He delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. That was a long swing. Sugimoto fouled it right off into his left leg. And he's doing a pirouette around the batter's box to walk it off. He's got a shin guard on the left leg, but that didn't really protect him much as that ball looked like it caught him on the inside of his foot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Left-hander Sumida gets the sign from his catcher Mori, and he goes back to work. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner, and the count now goes to 3-2. Again, a veteran player getting a veteran call. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Sugimoto. Yoshida will be on the run as soon as the pitch is delivered to the plate. He holds at the belt to Sumida. He kicks and he delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Sugimoto is retired on strikes, and the young left-hander bounces off the mound with some exuberance, as he has now gone through 6 shutout innings for the Orix Buffaloes. And at their half of the 6th, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions for the Orix Buffaloes. Nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Here's our friend Matt again. Be sure to check out Matt Hollis after the ball game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and there is a pitching change for the Buffaloes, and we will get that for you in just a moment, as that is the end of the day for Hiroya Miyagi. Miyagi battled through 5 innings, but they are now making the change. They're bringing in a right-hander, and as we said, we'll have to get that update for you in just a moment to get you all the specs. It's been an outstanding outing by the young left-hander Sumida. He's gone 6 shutout innings. Lots of exuberance shown by the young lefty. And so we're ready to get back into the live action here, and it is going to be number 56. This is Atsuya Ogita. And he is taking over here in the inning, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0 to the batter Tonosaki. It's Tonosaki, Kuriyama, and Ito to face the right-hander. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Something that you'll see in the Japanese league that you don't always see elsewhere is the amount of rosin that they put on the ball sometimes or in their hand, and a puff of smoke comes out of, it looks like a puff of smoke. It's the rosin that comes flying off the ball on the release. There's a breaking ball delivered. It is swung on. It's grounded over to third. Mune fields it on the run. He throws off one leg, and Tonosaki goes down as a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Takumi Kuriyama. So Ogita, who is taking over on the mound here, it's, as I said, it's kind of interesting. He's so loaded up with the rosin on his hand. The ball is a puff of smoke when it comes out. So here comes the first pitch. He's got a very interesting delivery. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. And I say interesting because he's in the windup. He takes the step back and he pauses. And then he lifts his hands up before the rest of his body moves. And then the rest of his body moves very, very quickly after that. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 1-1. So it's unique, but it also throws the timing of the hitter off. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ogita into the motion. He delivers. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. We can say this, that he really brings it up there pretty good. He's at 94 miles an hour. So a 94-mile-an-hour fastball for Ogita. So here we are, ready to go back to work. And there is a fastball that is missed outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. I'm just going to go and verify our arm here. And so here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball. And the count now goes to 3-2. And that is actually Ogita that is on the mound. As we said, sometimes number 56. This is his NPB debut. He was taken in the seventh with the seventh pick of the 2021 draft. And there is a fastball swung on. And it is lined right to the second baseman. Kuriyama takes 2 steps out of the box, and he is retired for the second out. That ball was smashed. So Ogita, making his NPB debut, has retired the first 2 hitters he's faced. And that is going to bring up Ito. So Ogita is a 23-year-old right-hander. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So good news for the Lions fans. Sumida is up and throwing in front of the dugout. That means that he's probably coming back in for the 7th inning. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted to straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is Watanabe. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Ito for the 3rd out here in the 6th inning. So for the Lions in their half of the 3rd, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions for the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the 7th inning. We're glad you could tune in tonight, or whether you're on delay, we're glad you are with us. Here's another Japanese baseball memory for you. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters slated to come to bat for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes tonight have only got 1 hit off of this young lefty who's coming back into the game, and that was Rangel Ravello. Rangel Ravello got a base hit in the 2nd inning, and that has been it for the Buffaloes. So it is going to be Kobayashi, Ravello, and Fushimi to face the young lefty. One reason I thought that they may keep him in the game is maybe they let him come out, or they pull him in mid-inning, and that sometimes allows the home team's crowd to give him an ovation. But we'll see if he's going to be able to do this. Troy says, even with Miyagi struggling, Orix held them to 4 runs. Yeah, it's definitely not an insurmountable lead. The young lefty here, I would think that if he can get them through this inning, he's at 90 pitches. If he's able to get through this inning here, obviously it just shortens the game, letting your 8th and 9th inning guys come in to be able to seal the deal. So here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on by Kobayashi. This ball is belted to deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track is O'Grady, and he's going to make the grab. So one pitch and one away. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Rangel Ravello. If he can get quick outs like this, we might even see him for the 8th inning. So Ravello tonight is 1 for 2. He's 1 for 4 on the early season. Ravello wears the number 42. He would not be able to do that in Major League Baseball, as that has been retired by the MLB in honor of Jackie Robinson. So here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Ravello will be followed by the catcher Fushimi. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. That bottom part of the order for the Buffaloes has really not put any fear into the young lefty. Not been able to turn the batting order over or get it back to the top. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. It squirts out of the catcher's glove. Ravello's not happy with it. You got to earn that usually, and that was such a poor catch. The catcher didn't even backhand the ball. It was kind of lazy by Maury as he flipped his glove over. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted to the right side. Moving over underneath it is the second baseman. And that's Tanasaki. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Ravello for the 2nd out of the inning. So with 2 away, that's going to bring up the catcher Fushimi. Fushimi tonight is 0 for 2. He lined out to the second baseman his first time up, and he popped to the catcher his last time. And the pitch from Samita is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. One would think that there's going to have to be a lot of ice in the locker room for the elbow of this young lefty. He's just been breaking ball after breaking ball tonight. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There is a fastball that is swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2. Just the reaction of the young catcher Fushimi was priceless. He knew he was fooled on that one. Sometimes the facial reactions of the players are very intriguing. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And there is a fastball. It's down to the dirt. They say he went. It's blocked by Maury. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Fushimi on a putout 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the 7th inning, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Be curious to see if Samita comes back out for an 8th inning. But we are moving to the bottom of the 7th. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 4, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to check out his channel. He is a character, and he's always got interesting stuff.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Straps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Straps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Straps Baseball.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. He's got all kinds of crazy things. And I think he's got his Saturday morning cartoons are already up. So for those of you who are on the West Coast, you can get an early look before the next day. So that is going to bring up the Saitama Seibu Lions. It's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. And we have another pitcher entering the fray. For the Orix Buffaloes, we have a left-hander. And this left-hander is going to be Jesse Biddle. So Jesse Biddle, I believe, I have to do my homework on this one. I believe he was a former Atlanta Brave. So Biddle into the ball game. The big lefty, this is going to be his NPB debut, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside. And the count is quickly 0-1. So Biddle into the ball game. If I'm not also mistaken, he was a Cincinnati Red. But I'm going to have to do my homework because I can't remember exactly where Biddle had come from. And so Suzuki Genda is the batter. He is 0-1. So Biddle into the ball game. This is the third pitcher now used by the Buffaloes tonight. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. Biddle ready to go back to work, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now is 3-1 strike. So my memory is correct. He was with the Braves twice. He was with the Reds, the Rangers, and the Mariners. So I whiffed on the Rangers and the Mariners. There was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. Biddle is a big fella. And here comes the 3-2 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Genda on strikes. That pitch there came up to the plate at about 93 miles an hour. And Genda goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up Shohei Suzuki. Suzuki tonight is 1 for 3. He doubled his first time up and scored a run, and then he grounded to second and struck out looking. So he is officially 1 for 3, and there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Suzuki on the season is 1 for 7. He's batting 143. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is tapped down into the ground, and it's going to be fielded just in the foul territory to the third base side by the catcher Fushimi, and the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Biddle gets the side from his catcher. He's ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Suzuki chokes up on the bat. There's a ground ball. It's hit up the middle. It's fielded by the second baseman on the backhand. He throws to first, and it gets by the first baseman. Backing up the play is Fushimi, as the second baseman, Oda, fired it and threw it away. They had no chance to get him. He had to make the backhand play up the middle. As he went up the middle, he threw off of 1 foot while his momentum was carrying him into left field, but that was a poor job by Ravello to try to stop the ball or block the ball. Good job by the catcher to back up the play, but that's going to go in the books as a single. Suzuki is aboard, and that is going to bring up Brian O'Grady. O'Grady tonight is 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles. He's also scored a run. And the pitch from Biddle is a breaking ball that is down. He offers at it, and he did swing. The count is quickly 0-1 to O'Grady. O'Grady is 4 for 7 on the young season. He's batting .571. He's absolutely scorched some balls tonight. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now is 0-2. So Troy says, how common is it for pitchers to go complete games in the NPB? Well, it depends on who they are. It's actually kind of, I would say, more common there than it is in Major League Baseball. And there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. If you go and you take a peek at some of the stats of the teams, you'll see that some of the players, they really do have a number of complete games throughout the course of the season. So, for example, I still have up on my notes from last night the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Last year, the Golden Eagles only had 5 complete games as a team. There was 143 games. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 to O'Grady. So O'Grady has worked the count full. The runner at first is Suzuki. Biddle's got to find a way to try to put this other former big leaguer away. Battle of the American players. Yeah, I remember Biddle signed in the offseason. And there's a breaking ball. Off goes the runner. And they throw down to second base. It's a strike him out, throw him out. Suzuki is thrown out 2-6. So caught stealing 2-6. O'Grady goes down on strikes. So he was the second out. The third out was Suzuki, and that is how they retire. They get the side 1-2-3 unconventionally. So for the Saitama Seibu Lions in their half of the seventh, no runs, there was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. It is the Orix Buffaloes trailing the Saitama Seibu Lions 4-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call. The top of the 8th inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Here's one of our Did You Knows. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning, and it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters scheduled to come to bat for the Orix Buffaloes. And we have a reliever on the mound now for the Saitama Seibu Lions. That is the end of the day for their young left-hander, Samita. And we have number 26 entering into the ballgame, and this is going to be Takiro Sasaki. So a left-hander taking over for a left-hander as Chihiro Samita's day is complete. So number 26, Takiro Sasaki, into the ballgame. And he is going to be facing Oda, Watanabe, and Fukuda, the 8-9 1 hitters in the order. And there's a first pitch fastball from Sasaki for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from the left-hander, and it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sasaki holds at the belt. He goes into the motion and delivers. It is a fastball swung on his line, right back off the pitcher. It goes over to the second baseman who fields it. And that is Tanasaki, throws it to first. So that's going to go down as a putout, 1-4-3. Sasaki signals to the dugout that he's okay. The guy turned it and got him on the underside, underneath his arm, or more towards his back as he turned. He was very, very fortunate. So that's going to go down as a ground out, 1-4-3 in the books for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Haruto Watanabe. He was very fortunate not to get hit. He got it kind of off the back of the tricep, but it got more of the back. And down he went to get out of the way. That ball was scorched. So he gets a couple of tune-up tosses. He gives the nod that he's okay. He's ready to go, and we're ready to get back to the live action as Haruto Watanabe is coming to the plate. Sasaki is jumping up and down like a boxer, ready to go again. And so here he is to face the center fielder Watanabe, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses just a little bit up, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Watanabe tonight is 0 for 2. He's flown out to left, and he is grounded to second. And there is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So this is one of the players making his debut tonight. There has been 3 debuts now so far. The reliever Ogita for the Buffaloes was another debutant. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into the netting on the left field line, and the count now goes to 2-1. So Ogita and Watanabe, and of course the starting pitcher Samita for the Lions, all making their NPB debuts today. There's a fastball that is swung on, and this ball is driven foul into the netting again down the third base line. The count now goes to 2-2. So Sasaki has battled back. The on-deck hitter is Fukuda. He is also the leadoff hitter. This game has had very good pace to it. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses up. Count is now 3-2. Troy earlier asked the question of how we select the games or how we pick the games. Certainly, there's nothing worse on getaway day when you got a terrible pitching matchup for one team and a decent one for the other, and the game gets out of hand, and then the bench is empty out, and the substitutes are all over the place, and the scorecard looks like a coloring book. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to still remain at 3-2 to Watanabe. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. And that pitch is a fastball that comes in on the hands, and it's Watanabe was very fortunate. He fouls that one off as he was half getting out of the way. It was half self-defense. That's going to keep the count at 3-2. So Troy asks, he says, so Samita pitched a one-hitter. That's right. He only gave up the hit to Ravello back in the second inning. So that was fairly positive. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Watanabe is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. He definitely swung at ball 4. So 2 up and 2 away, and that brings up Shuhei Fukuda, the top of the order, to face the lefty Sasaki. So, yeah, absolutely. The takeaways that I would have if I had to say, he did walk 3 batters. I'm just looking at my scorecard. So the official one I'm not looking at, but I saw 3 walks in the 7 innings of work. It's a little too much for my liking, almost 1 every other inning. And there's the first pitch that is a fastball outside to Fukuda for ball 1. There's another fastball that misses low, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strike to Fukuda. I've got him in my books with 5 strikeouts tonight, which is formidable. I think he's got more in him. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0 to Fukuda. So, yeah, pretty good rookie debut that you come out and you throw 7 innings of 1-hit ball. That is pretty solid for your NPB debut. So here comes the 3-0 pitch. Fukuda kicks and he delivers. There is a fastball that misses just down, and on 4 straight pitches, Fukuda is aboard with a base on balls. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Mune tonight is 0 for 3. He has struck out. He has flown to left field and flown to center field. He's now 1 for 7 on the season. He did drive in a run last night. He's batting at 143. So here comes the first pitch to Mune. It's swung on. It's grounded to short. They flip it over to second, and that is going to retire Fukuda on a fielder's choice. It's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th inning. So for Orix, they had no runs, there were no hits, there were no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 4, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. This is the same scoreline as we had last night. Be interesting to see what the Lions do for their half of the inning, but we'll be back in just a couple moments after this. We're going to give you another one of our Did You Knows, and we're staying in Japan. Welcome back, everybody. There is going to be yet another pitching change for the Buffaloes. They're going to the bullpen again and bringing in a right-hander. We will get you all the specs on Yuta Kuroki when we come back in just a moment. We're glad you could be here with us tonight for the call of this game. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We have a right-hander entering into the fray. This is Yuta Kuroki. He is in his 3rd season. He hasn't pitched in the NPB since 2018, as he missed 2019, 20, and 21. He is a Orix Buffalo. Appeared in, so far in his career, in 94 games. He's got 7 wins and 4 losses to a tune of a 4.33 ERA. So the first pitch delivered to Takeya Nakamura as a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. It's going to be Nakamura, Yamakawa, and Mori here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Lions. They're controlling a 4-0 lead, and there is a breaking ball. This pitch is swung on. It is hammered through the 6 hole into left field, and that is going to be a base hit for Nakamura. He is aboard with a single. Curious to see if they're going to get a runner for him or possibly make some defensive changes. He's not exactly the most fleet of foot at this point in his career. I would argue and say he may never be as fleet of foot in any time of his career, and they are going to run for him. So we do have a pinch runner. And that will probably mean we're going to see a substitute. I'd be curious to see if it's Nin-Ting Wu, but it isn't. Usually Wu would come in to run in this situation. We'll get you the substitute in just a moment here. This looks like it's Haruko Yamada. So Yamada is running at first base. And so here comes Yamakawa to the plate. And the first pitch is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So Yamada, the runner at first. Yamakawa, the batter, with an 0-1 count. And holding at the belt is the right-hander, Kuroki. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-2. The plate umpire called it a strike. That pitch to me there was not received very well by Fushimi. It looked like it was almost a cross up there, that he thought it was going to go somewhere else, and the glove flipped over. The umpire gave him the call. Yamakawa was certainly taken aback by it. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. This is swung on. It's driven to deep center field. This ball is off the wall. The center fielder is run into the wall, and he's down on the warning track. This is going to get a run in, as Yamada is going to score all the way from first base. The center fielder, Watanabe, crashes into the wall. He is down on the warning track. And it is a RBI double for Yamakawa. Yamakawa gets himself yet another RBI. That's his 4th of the ball game. As the Buffalo's brass is looking out at the young center fielder, he's now up and making his way back in, but the score line has now been extended to 5-0 for the Lions. He ran full tilt, and then he runs into the wall. It was an ugly Z route to the ball. And then it looked like he almost tried to run up the wall, and then he ran into the wall. So Yamakawa does his job, but his day is now done. We're going to have a pinch runner for him as the trainer is out to talk to Watanabe. He shouldn't be looking at his leg. They should be looking at his head, asking what did he do running into the wall like that. For those of you who are interested, we talked about this before. On the warning track, they typically will crush rock, even though on a turf field, it's all turf. Now we've got Ning Ting Wu coming into the game to pinch run for Yamakawa. So Wu is now the runner at second. There's nobody away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It is now a 5-0 lead for the Lions here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Tomoya Mori to the plate. Mori is 1 for 2 this evening with a walk. He's also scored a run. He is 1 for 6 on the season now. The first pitch to him is a fastball that misses down for a ball 1. The count is 1-0. The crowd in Saitama is on their feet. They are cheering for their veteran catcher. And there is a breaking ball that misses down, and then the count is 2-0. Tonight's official attendance is 18,109. I would have estimated between 20 and 25, so I guess my early estimate was incorrect. I will say this, there are pockets of the crowd where it is very dense, and then there's other pockets where it's very light. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is popped up over in third base foul territory. Running back at it and making the catch over the shoulder is Mune. Nice catch by Mune. It might have been an easier play for the shortstop to get over, but Kirby was nowhere near. He makes the catch. Does Mune over the shoulder, and Mori is retired for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. Tonosaki tonight is officially 1 for 3. He's been on base twice. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. He doubled in the 4th, and he grounded to third in the 6th inning. So he's 1 for 3 this evening. He's 1 for 6 on the season. There's a first pitch fastball that is swung on. It is grounded foul just past the bag at third base. The count is now 0-1. Be sure to stick around after the game. We are going to do a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. I'll give you the recaps from around the NPB. This game here and the one in Osaka with the Hanshin Tigers are the lowest scoring games of the night. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Tonosaki. It's a fastball swung on. It's ripped. It's lined right to the shortstop. He throws it over to the second baseman, but the second baseman is not in time. That is going to go down as a line drive to 6 for out number 2. Right idea by Kirby to throw it to second base, but really the second baseman, Oda, was too far from the base. I'd have to get a different camera angle on that to see if maybe he was too wide to begin with. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Takumi Kuriyama. Kuriyama steps in tonight. He is officially 0 for 2. He has a sacrifice fly and an RBI. He is 0 for 5 on the young season. And here comes the first pitch to him. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Should Kuriyama find his way on, it'll be Ito, who is looming on deck. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a changeup, swung on and missed. And Kuriyama is now in the hole, or the count's now run even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kuriyama waiting on the delivery from the right-hander, Karaki. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Kuroki, check that. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Kuroki is first action in just over 3 seasons. He hasn't really fooled the hitters too much. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner at the knees, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're glad that you could make it in tonight to listen to the call of the game that we're doing here. We appreciate everybody stopping in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kuriyama. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll be back at it again tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Pacific time. That's 1 a.m. Eastern. If you're in North America, it'll be again a 1400 hours or 2 p.m. Japan time. The first pitch will be on the air about 10 minutes before. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. It would have been ball 4 had Kuriyama held off, but he is retired on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. So there was damage in the inning for the Saitama Seibu Lions in their half of the 8th. They had 1 run on 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 8 complete innings. It is the Orix Buffaloes trailing the Saitama Seibu Lions 5-0. There will be a pitching change, and we'll get that information when we come back in just a moment. Here's our friend Matt Hollis again. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. Another Hollis build, supporter of our channel, and we like to support him. We'll be back in a minute.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody, and we want to thank Matt Hollis again for his support of our channel, and in return, we like to support Matt. We do have a pitching change as the Saitama Seibu Lions have gone to the bullpen, and we have now, it is going to be, and there are some defensive changes. It is going to be Nin Wu at first base, and Yamada, who came into the game to run, he's going in at third. Katsushi Masuda on the hill. He takes over. He appeared in 33 games last year. No wins, 3 losses. He had 8 saves. This is not a save situation. And the first pitch from Masuda is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. It is the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Orix batting order, so this game is not quite dead yet. It is Yoshida, Sugimoto, and Kobayashi to face the right-hander Masuda, and there's a fastball delivered to Yoshida. It is swung on. It is belted. Moving over onto the warning track is the right fielder Ito, and he's going to make the catch. Yoshida absolutely scorched that one, but it was right to the glove of Ito. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the right fielder Yataro Sugimoto. We got Big Ray in the house tonight. Welcome, Big Ray. Thanks a lot for popping in. We're glad you were able to make it in for the last couple innings. So Sugimoto steps to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's 0 for 6 in the early campaign of the 2022 season. Takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. And there is a pitch. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner. The count's 1-1. It was interesting. Troy says that he's got Beatty's card here. He had a 0.5 WAR. He also had a pretty decent season last year, and it was a question that came up to Dave Roberts of why you DFA'd a guy with a option still left on his contract, and there is a fastball that misses outside. Count now goes to 2-1 on Sugimoto, and I didn't catch the answer to that. So as I mentioned, it's interesting. They did sign Hanser Alberto. Yeah, Hanser Alberto was signed, the former Baltimore Oriole. And there is a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away. But they did say that Beatty had a pretty decent year last year. The count goes to 2-2. I'm not really I don't want to say a Dodger connoisseur. I watch the Dodgers. I know they're big names. I don't know the guys that come up and down. I think it was Luke Rowley was a player that they had last year, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rowley got dealt to Tampa Bay last week. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball. This is swung on. It is lifted down the first base line. It's going to reach the netting. The count's going to remain 2-2 to Sugimoto. Yeah, Hanser Alberto making room on the 40-man for him. I wonder if they've signed him to a major league contract, because one would think that Alberto wouldn't be on a minor league deal. I think he's got enough service time in the big leagues to command a big league contract. There's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away down the left field line. So Sugimoto is showing that he can go line to line, foul line to foul line. Very tough to defend those type of hitters. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sugimoto waits in on the righty, and there's a fastball from Masuda swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Sugimoto for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it up to Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi is 0 for 3 tonight. He was 0 for 4 last night. He started the campaign 0 for 7. Tonight he struck out looking, and he's flown out to left twice. I will say this: he hit a bullet in the 4th inning to the left fielder, and then he had a deep fly ball in the 7th inning. The first pitch to him as a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1. So no balls and run strike. Remember, stick around after the game. We'll go through the out-of-town scoreboard. Checking up on all the scores from around the NPB. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul, and the count is 0-2. You got to give a lot of credit to Masuda. He's come in and throwing strikes. If he can find the form that he had in 2020, that makes it a lot easier for the Lions, especially their 7th and 8th inning guys. So no balls and 2 strikes. The Buffaloes are down to their final out and their final strike. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep right field. Moving back is Ito. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it. Combined by the pitchers of the Saitama Seibu Lions. So in the 9th inning, for the Buffaloes, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Just stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll wrap up with the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll give you the highlights of this one, and we'll chat with the chat for a little bit, and then we'll call it a night. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment after this. Welcome back, everybody. The final score was 5-0 for the Lions over the Buffaloes. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard from around the NPB this evening. There was one game that was postponed today. The Chibalote Marines and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles were rained out. That game, I don't have a makeup date for it yet. This is the only game that is a final. The Saitama Seibu Lions with 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors knocked off the Orix Buffaloes with no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. There were 2 stars, in my opinion, of this game tonight. The debut of Chihiro Samita, the pitcher for the Saitama Seibu Lions. He went 7 innings of 1-hit baseball. But also to the big fella for the first baseman for the Saitama Seibu Lions, Hotaka Yamakawa. He drove in 4 of the 5 Lions runs, including a 3-run homer in the 1st inning off of Orix starter Hiroya Miyagi. And those were the 2 players, in my opinion, that really carried the mail for the Lions today. And so other scores from out of town, also in the Pacific League. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have a 6-2 lead over the Hokkaido nippon-ham fighters. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are looking to try to make it 2 in a row. Home runs tonight. Alcantara has hit 2 for Hokkaido. And Kurihara has hit 1 for Fukuoka. So those are the first 2 ones of the year for Alcantara. Welcome to the NPB. He got the start tonight at second base. He is 3 for 4 with both of those home runs. Over in the Central League, it is the Chinichi Dragons 5, the Yomiuri Giants 2. They've scored 2 in the top of the 8th inning. And it is Katsuno who has a home run for Chinichi. And that is where they stand there. It is in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Hiroshima Toyo Carp have a 10-3 lead over the Yokohama Dana Stars. By the looks of it, it is going to be another rough year for Yokohama. The Carp behind Masato Morishita. Morishita's gone 7 strong innings tonight so far, allowing 7 hits and 3 runs, and struck out 4. Kikuchi has homered for the Carp. Nobody has homered for the Bay Stars. Of course, the Carp lost their big star, Seiya Suzuki, to the big leagues this year. And then lastly, the other game is in Osaka. The Hanshin Tigers are being 2-hit by the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Swallows have a 4-0 lead. Santana has a home run in this game for the Swallows. I checked that. Actually, Santana does not. He hit 2 last night. No home runs in this ball game. Takahashi has gone 7 strong for the Swallows, allowing 2 hits, walking 1, and struck out 8. He has now left the ball game. Shimizu is in relief. And so those are your scores from out of town. And again, your score here is 5-0 for the Saitama Seibu Lions over the Orix Buffaloes. All right, everybody. Well, once again, we're going to be back on the air again tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific time. That'll be 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hokkaido Nippon-ham Fighters. Hopefully you can pop in and check it out again. We'll be glad to have you if you can make it around. Big Ray, Troy, and everybody else who popped in here tonight, we do appreciate you. We thank you very much. Again, your final score is the Saitama Seibu Lions 5, the Orix Buffaloes 0. That's your final score. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow evening. Have a great night, everybody.